Maybe. Okay, well, I'm trying to show this, and it won't show. Oh well. Hi, Peggy. Thank you for being the first one here. I know you're probably gone by now. Oh, there you are. Hey, Mick. Mr. Mick. Hello, hello, hello. Well, apparently Peggy was here, then left. So, because I couldn't get that to play immediately the first time, I'm going to do it again just because I'm mad. There it goes. It won't show again. There. I'm having issues with that to get shown right away. And I don't like that. Hey, Derek, Cheryl, Billy Ray, Mr. Mick, and Peggy. The crew is starting to fill in. That's good. That's good. That's good. So, how's everybody this fine Thursday evening or afternoon where you may be? I'm assuming you guys can hear me okay because I can see the meters moving here and I can see the mic light there. Ood? God? I know what you mean there, Mr. Mick. Lewis. All right. And I did get the right mic, too. I'm not up there. So, what I did, honest to God, what I did, just because I'm, I'm new to running this myself, I actually made a list of things to do before the start of the show. Wireless keyboard. Cool. Very cool, very cool. Why is it so hard to find steel tremolo blocks for Floyd's? Now, what do you mean by you want stainless steel, titanium steel, or you want the original black steel? What are you looking for? Because almost everybody is upgrading to stainless at least. Titanium is nice if you want to pay that much. Wow, there's that much of a delay? Hmm. So, yeah, it depends on what you're looking for. Um, you can get stainless ones. Hold on. Let me get you the link because I have put these in guitars for people. And actually, what they did is they ended up sending them to me to put in. And hold on. I don't know how to sign in. I don't know what my password is for that. I think that may be it. By God, it is. Yeah, I've had people send me these to use, and they've worked absolutely fine. I've never had an issue with them. So when I can't find the ones I usually use, I use these. Okay, let me share a screen. Share screen to that. Share. And right there. Can you see that? I hope you can see that. So let me. The only issue that I found out with these is the brand new Floyd tremolos with the curved uh, um, let me see. Yeah, so the new ones, it's not squared off on the front. They're kind of curved. So if you have like one of the brand new tremolos, oh, you're talking about sustaining. Okay. Well, all right, let's look at this. Hold on. Why can't I get rid of that now? Stop sharing. There we go. Uh, you would have to get a you go to the actual floydrose.com. Why does it do that every time? There we go. Go to floydrose.com and you would have to look at their factory blocks. But I do think the 37 fat brass is probably the best one. Hey, Mad. Hi, Cheryl. As soon as we got in the chat, we had a question. I love that. So and I probably don't have a photo on here. Oh, wait a minute. How's that, Mad? Mad Hatter. Guitar mafioso. Um, yeah, the 37 fat brass is probably your best bet. Oh, I found out because I talked about Shady Side here the other day saying had less than 3,000 people. I stand corrected. There's 3,400 now. But that's all the bigger the town is. That's an aerial view. And as you can see up towards the top, we are in the Smoky Mountain area. So that's all the bigger this place is. Hey, Multi. Thank you. Mr. Mick, I wish I could answer that for you. I don't know yet. I'm sure that Floyd will have those. It's just going to trickle down. I don't know how long it's going to take, but eventually these other manufacturers that are making and have been making these will eventually start doing that. Your only option is to buy them and then literally file them to match the original ones in it, which is going to take some time, but it can be done. No, the old ones are fine. They just made a design in it for whatever reason. I don't even know if there is, for those of you who don't know, Floyd Rose is the gentleman's name. That's his real name. So I don't even know if he still owns the company or if he's ever sold it or what. I have no idea. Now, I will tell you when because I always say upgrade to stainless steel hardware, at least, no matter what Floyd you get. On a special, Floyd Rose special, that will help. But your best other upgrade for a Floyd Rose special is to buy better saddles for it. Either order one, excuse me, order a set for 1,000, which will run you like $66. And then, you can even get a used special for sometimes $50 or $60. So you'll have a tremolo that'll work absolutely fine with upgraded parts for, $130. There you go. So, they just decided to change that for whatever reason. I don't know if it was an American design model. I have no idea. They never really, be absolutely honest, I never really went investigated it much. And I didn't even know they did that until I tried to put a set of stainless in and they wouldn't fit. Or they would go in and you could tighten them and they assumed, like they locked, but they weren't pressed up. So on a low E, A, and D, they still work. But when you go to the unwound strings, you have to have the curved block. Hello, Kurt. So yeah, you gotta, again, I don't know why they changed it. It's not like Floyd's going to call me and say, "Hey, Ron, I changed this because." I wish he would, but he didn't. So, all right. Any other questions before we go to the bench? Because I am on Lazar's show at 10 o'clock with Rob from Tessie Switch. And I guess we're going to talk about the giveaway guitar that I built for him. And we'll go from there. And I don't know anything else about it, what he's planning on doing. I'm sure he's going to, he'll ask Rob about that stuff. So it would be, it's going to be interesting. So, it's hour and 45 minutes to go. So any other questions, anybody? Yeah, is that what you want, Mad? Do you want me to print that one out for you? I might be able to enhance it a little bit more, but I'm not, I'm guitar mafioso. And here's the catch though, Mad. When you're putting this on the guitar and you paint over it, you gotta play "Ain't That a Kick in the Head," Dean Martin. Gotta play it. So, oh, And for those of you who have asked about my knees and everything, so I went to the doctor yesterday. I go there, had the appointment. He said, "Well, we'll get into this." He wanted me to see a vascular doctor first and some other doctor, then we'll go from there. So today I get a thing from Kroger saying my prescription's ready. So I go, my wife on her way home picked it up, and I'm getting it, and it's this cream. And I'm like, what is this? And I didn't recognize who it was. And so it's from the knee doctor, the orthopedic surgeon. And then I noticed that there was a voicemail on my phone that says, "Hi, Ron, this is Rebecca," which that's who it said prescribing, of Rebecca something. I had no idea who it was. So I'm calling from the doctor's office, calling in regards to talking to you about your procedure. If you would, please give us a call back. So now I look at this medicine thinking, what the heck is this medicine? It's a cream. It says put it on the inside of your nostrils twice a day, 5 days before the surgery. So apparently we're skipping the other doctors, and my knees are bad enough that he just wants to do them right away. I have no idea. I'll find out more tomorrow. Oh, and I personally called my other bass player, Dave, and changed it till the last weekend of this month because some things came up for this weekend, and so it wouldn't work out. So with the very last weekend of April, he will be here Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So, yeah, I'm going to find out. But I mean, they're bad, Cheryl. They're very bad. My knees are extremely bad, and it gets worse every week. They're worse, and there's nothing there. It's bone to bone. And years ago, 5, 6, I don't even remember, 7 years ago, I don't know. The orthopedic surgeon I saw then, the first time I saw him, he had seen the MRIs and I should be glowing from the MRIs I've had, and X-rays, but between my back, my shoulders, and now my knees, and he walked in reading the report and looked up, and saw me sitting there, and he looked around. He's like, just from reading this report, I would have bet you were in a wheelchair because I have no idea how you're walking. And then that's when he said, you must have one hell of a high tolerance for pain. So I'll find out tomorrow. But it just kind of shocked me that I got this cream to take 5 days before the procedure, and I'm like, we were going to a vascular surgeon or a vascular doctor and somebody else. I'll find out more tomorrow. But thank you, everybody, for your concern. With that, I'm going to go to the bench. I'm going to say this is a total knee replacement. And they're going to do both of them, not the same. I wish they would do it because they can. Like I said, I was 6'3", now I'm 6 foot between my knees going bad and the operations I've had on my back. And the one doctor, the last one I went to, said, well, I could, with the new knees, I can actually add 2 more inches to your legs. But he said the problem is you'd have to do them, pretty quick, where you're going to have a 2-inch difference. So, believe it or not, Stew. I'm started that. I have. So thank you. I'm going to say probably, I don't know. I mean, my shoulder took forever. My back, I have rods, hinges, and pins in my back. The shoulder looks like a suspension bridge. They took photos when they were working on it. Um, so, and then, but the whole shoulder now needs replaced. Figure that. I fell and ripped it. And because it went, when he fixed it the last time, the guy who worked on the Steelers, he does the operations for the shoulders and stuff for the Steelers. He said, if you damage this again, there's nothing left to repair. We got to repair the whole shoulder. And it lasted for probably 6 or 7 years, and I fell and caught myself and ripped it again. So that's why it hurt. You'll see me grimace every now and then on here. I try not to do that. But so between that, my back from a year and a half ago, and now going to be my shoulders, I am going to be the bionic man. I got more metal in me than a 747. But yes, Stu, I can't read it. Yeah, I've done that before. I used to be, my ideal weight was 6'3". I was 225. And that's when I was bodybuilding. And I had a 22-inch neck, 63-inch chest, 36-inch waist, 22-inch biceps, and almost 20 in forearms. And then I had all kind of trouble. Everything started failing as far as bones and back and knees and everything. And I gained a lot of weight. I lost a lot, but I still need to lose. I want to lose another like 75 pounds. So, but thank you. Okay, so let's go to the bench because this isn't bench medical chat. Although I could probably do that. All right. Yeah, I've had. This one has been fixed. The rotator cuff has been fixed on this one. This one has been worked on 3 times, and now it's the one that needs he said they got to replace the whole shoulder. There's nothing left to literally fix. I mean, doing that right there, you can feel it. You can feel it. It kind of like goes like that and then clicks and drops. You can feel it right there. So, all right, let's go to the bench and work on Mr. Bones. Let me switch to my phone here so I can see the chat. Oh, need to hit live, apparently. No, that's from yesterday. What's that doing on it? What the heck? Go to my channel. What do I do? Number this wrong? Yeah, I need to change it to 46. God dang it. You know what's funny? When I did that, I thought, is that 45 or 46? And for some reason, I thought it was number 45 was going to be the number. Apparently, it was wrong. So I guess I will fix that after Lazar's show. All right, everybody. Oh, there we go. As much as I hate to say this, I need a bigger studio now. All right, so here's what I'm going to do, phone-wise, so I can see. All right. First and foremost, after some work last night, I got it done. As you can see. And surprisingly, I am not grossed out by that pink. Maybe because it's not, hot pink. I don't know. Actually, that doesn't look bad. But I would never put it on a guitar. So, but it turned out pretty good. I got the the block done so it fits in there nice. So there you go. That's a 37, Derek, in case you're wondering. But yeah, that's just kind of, how would that look on Mr. Bones? Call it Mrs. Bone? All right. So this is a J-Frog contraption. What do I need here? Oh, wrong thing. Yeah, what I'm afraid is going to happen one of these days is I'm going to be here and bend down to get something, then I'm going to be stuck. And you guys are going to be able to laugh at me because I'll be on here in a duck type position. And everybody can clip it and have some fun. Derek, this is a Seymour Duncan Invader. It is not what come on this guitar. When I got this, it had the George Lynch Screaming Demon, this Seymour Duncan Screaming Demon, which I still have. But I wanted to put it, I wanted to swap it out with a white because I like the sound of the Invader. That's a Seymour Duncan Invader. And I thought I wanted to go with white on the body instead of the black. And I'm probably going to change it back at some point here. But this Floyd hasn't been touched in years, and it really needs some work. So that's what we're going to do. Change the strings on it. I got to tear that Floyd all apart. So, oh. And I noticed that Dane did a nice video tonight of the lace guitar. Surprisingly, I actually like the looks of that lace guitar, which really surprised the crap out of me because I didn't think I would. But the more I watched it, the more I liked it. So, look at this. Imagine having area to work on and not worry about busting everything. I'm sorry, I am never going to let that go. Oh, and for those of you who've been around, especially the last 5 weeks or so, I said something that I would love to do on here for you guys live, and I'm going to order it Monday, and then whatever day it gets here, what is that? Whatever day it gets here, I'm going to do it to start the show. Can anybody guess what I'm talking about? I gotta buy it, and it's going to be right around $20. And basically throwing the money away or lighting it on fire is going to have the same result as far as the money, but it's kind of a ritual thing that I want to do. for myself to do this Michael B. No, no, no. Multi got it. There you go. Yes, I am ordering the sound box. That stupid little red sound box. And to start the show, I'm going to have it here on the bench, and we're going to bring a big sledgehammer, one-handed sledgehammer, in from the garage, and we're going to have the introduction, and then, bam, I am going to smash that, and at that point, I am officially moved on. So, I think it'll be fun. But hey, that's just me. I'm not the gong guy. That's the other one. But I am ordering it Monday. And then when it gets here, we will smash it, and a new chapter begins. So how's that? I think it'd be rather funny. So you can see this guitar has been played quite a bit over the years. These were from belt buckles. But I don't know why that's painted black. It shouldn't be. But you can see that it is not the Firefly copy. This one actually is hand carved. You can stick your finger in the bone. So this is the only thing I actually really changed on it was the pickup. So this is Mr. Oh, wait a minute. Now you might be able to see it. Look at that flat. When I said this has a flat neck, you can't get any flatter than that. And I love this because when I'm playing, my thumb rides right there on that. It's like a perfect guide. And I know he was he's like, you want it flat? I'm like, yes, flat. Absolutely flat. And that's what I got. And people, when they first play this, they freak out. They're like, what the? Then after 5 minutes, they're like, all right, now I want all my guitars to be like that. Yes, that is a... No, I just want to take this apart because something's wrong right here. And it hasn't been apart in probably 10 years. This is Germany. I think it's an original 84. So we're going to take the whole thing apart. I'm going to clean it and find out what's wrong with that saddle because it's up. I don't know if it's got a... Oh, that's why. It's good. No, there's two of them with shims under them. Okay, well, still, they need taken apart anyhow. Taken apart, and re-cleaned and adjusted. So, I mean, I could put the pink one in there, but I'm afraid anybody who knows me would come back and beat me up. Well, I always, I mean, I don't even want to talk about the other show because I'll get accused of bashing. But I will say this: I never liked that stupid thing, and I thought, in my mind, it took away the credibility of the show from wanting to be so serious to making it sound like a morning radio show on your drive to work. But that's just my opinion, and it wasn't my show. But to forever get myself away from that, that's what I'm going to do. Call it a personal. Yeah, see, there's the individual shims. That's why those are up. Call it a personal journey to break completely away from that. So, I mean, wow. 1, 2, there's 2 on that one. 3, 4, all right. Yeah, this is a 1984, and look how war that is. But there's original German blocks right there. 42 years old. War like crazy. Yeah. So those are the individual shims that you can get. And they are just for that. They slide underneath here and lift it up if you have issues with strings. So I'm going to leave those on there, but I do want to clean this. And as you can see, the shim is gone here. Why is that one all bent? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, I got to take that off anyhow. So, Peggy, remember this. 2, 1, 3, 2, 4, 1. Or no, is there 2 under that one? Or is that a thicker one? 2. Oh, it's 2, 2, and 1. Actually, I don't need to take those off. All right, we're good. So, man, it's tight. As it should be. Thank you, Peggy. So why is that one bent like that? That shouldn't be that way. So what I'm going to do is bend them all up a little bit. Actually, yeah, that's what I need right there. I'm using the block, the corner of the block to go in that groove so I can bend these correctly in the right spot. You don't want to bend them the whole thing. You just want the top pieces to bend. All right. Oh, I need to come up. So there we go. So even this is a little bit different design from what they have now. Because I like the ones that have the dip here in the middle because it automatically centers the saddle. And now this was one of the original ones, doesn't have it. And now apparently, like Mr. Mick's American one doesn't have it either, so they got away from that for whatever reason. But, change always, always, change never comes easy. And people always get mad at change when they think that it doesn't need changed. So you end up with stuff like that, and people get upset about it. So you kind of roll with it, and eventually they find out people get mad because you changed something that didn't need changed. They're good to go. Yep, made in Germany. You can tell that's one of the early ones. But I need to get a push-in bar for this one. But look at that. This thing is 42 years old, and look at the knife edge still. How much clear are you putting on it? As long as you got good coverage, you're all right. I mean, if a couple more coats would enhance it more or make the color stand out more, then go for it. But you also don't want to have too many coats on there to where it messes everything up. So if you use like base coat, clear coat, usually it's just a couple. Is there one? Crap, only one. They'll put like 2, maybe 3 coats of base coat on, and then 2 or 3 coats of clear. It depends on what you're using. But I know you were going from a can. Okay. I don't know. Was that Rez that was having that issue, Lewis? All right. So let me. But yeah, what I was trying to explain, and it's easier to show it now since I got this here. So it was what, the G string? So what happens, it's supposed to be right in the center like that. But if you do have it over a little bit and you tighten it up, it'll ride that ramp a little bit, and then that will cause a buzz. That's why I kept asking him how many times. I said, are you sure you have it dead center? Because if you got it up like that, and it will lock in there that way, and that gives you that buzz and drives you nuts. That's why I said that was the first thing to look for. Okay. So we got 2. So yeah, you get you know, that's a mistake a lot of people have made, and it drives them crazy because they don't think about looking for that first. And it's simple. It happens. I've done it. And I was like, what? Why is this? Then you look down and like, oh, okay, there it is. But yeah, if you checked it and it's all in there, then I just don't understand what's throwing me off, and I'm being completely honest with you, is the fact that you had two different guitars doing the same thing. Same string, same problem. I mean, that's why I kept saying last night I almost need to see it in person in order to get it. But if nothing else like that gets it, Rez, then you're going to need to do a shim like this underneath the saddle on your G string to lift it up just a little bit, or you could stack as many. I've never went above two. There's two on these two, and this one on here. But I've seen guys have 4 or 5 on there, and I was like, wow. Yeah, you can do that. You can buy those off of Amazon, really. Oop, wrong way. They're just Floyd Rose saddle shims. Just look that up, and there you go. And since I know where these go pretty much already. Oh, what am I doing? Hold on. See, here I am talking to everybody and not paying attention. This wouldn't do no good without the block on it. Would it? Duh. All right. Oh, thank you, Rez. Hold on, I got 2. That's right. I forgot all about that too. Dang it. Because the old ones of these, the old ones of these went. For some reason, I changed them. They were brass. The other ones were brass also. Yeah, the guys from Slipknot like the Pestilence song. And like I said, Bullet for My Valentine said they would like to tour with them, or would like Cole's band to tour with them, which I thought would be pretty cool. Oh, it's over here. And someone asked last night if I would go as a tech for them if that happened. And I probably would do it. Now that I think about it. Because, I mean, if they're on the road away from here and I can't get, I'd have to do God knows how many guitars for them to take with them, where I can just be there and deal with it. Plus, it'd be fun to be back out that way. Be different this way, though. Be the guy backstage instead of the guy on stage. Yeah, it's that one. But yeah, I think I would do it. Plus, I know already their whole gear system and what they like and how they like them set up, and it'd save them from someone else trying to figure it out. Because Cole likes his string. Well, he's actually changed a little bit. But the first time, I always thought I liked my action low until I did the first one for him. And it was like, holy crap. But as long as the buzz doesn't come through the soundboard, he's fine with it. So it'd be cool. Plus, to be there every night and see my son be on stage and play, I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to miss that. I mean, he was there. Well, he doesn't remember the first couple years, but whenever we played around here, Beth would bring him. He was behind stage a lot back then. Kind of like Ozzy and his kids, Sorry about the banging here, guys, but I forgot I wanted to do this when I changed these before, and I forgot all about it. So yeah, the whole thing with the effects thing is, do you know what? I'm just going to break away from it. That's my whole reason for doing it. It's kind of symbolic to me. It would be a way for me to make a clean break of something and never have to worry about it again. And so what if it costs $20? It's worth it. Come on, dang it. So watch for that one day next week. Probably going to be towards the end of the week because I ordered it Monday. And of course, they'll tell me, oh, that's something I wanted to tell you guys. I ordered the wax, the paraffin and the beeswax, right? And the paraffin was supposed to be here today. And the other wax between tomorrow and Tuesday. So I still wouldn't have been able to do anything because you have to have the 80% paraffin and 20% beeswax to have the right combination. Man, that's hard to do. That take us off. That's the right combination because you get the strength and the ability for it to creep in everywhere that way to do it. So I get notification from UPS that it was going to be, the paraffin was going to be delivered today. And as of last night, before I was even off the show last night. Oh, what happened? Why ain't that one working? Before I ended the show, I got a notification last night saying it was in St. Clairsville at the hub in UPS in St. Clairsville, which is literally 20 minutes from me. That's where everything I get UPS goes there first, then it's loaded on the truck and delivered. So I get the notification that it is in St. Clairsville and it's coming in today. Supposed to get it between noon and 4 or something like that. And then I get a notification, comes across saying there's been a delay. They're sorry for the delay, but there's been a delay in the logistics. And I'm thinking, what did the UPS truck break down between here and St. Clairsville? It's like 12 miles. That's it. And so now it's telling me if I don't have it by the 15th to text them and they'll refund my money. I'm like, are you nuts? It's right there. I'll just go get it. What I think happened, and I honest to God believe this, I think they left it on the truck all day, and it probably melted because it was 80 degrees here today. And inside the box truck, they get hot. But it actually said there's a delay due to logistics. After it was at my store, or at the one for me last night, and loaded on the truck. So, but it wouldn't have done me any good anyhow. If I only had just the one, I still need the beeswax. So, they will. Supposed to have them by the 15th at the latest for both of them. So then we'll do that, and then I'll do the wax potting the pickups on a show for you guys. Because I am all about trying to show you things you guys want to know. And like I told you before, if I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know, but we'll figure it out together. I'm never just going to guess at something and maybe mess up a bunch of stuff. I'll never do that, so you never have to worry about that. But I'm also not ashamed to admit it if I don't know it, because I don't know everything. Although when my daughter was preteen, she accused me of thinking I knew everything. I used to laugh and say, I wish I did, honey. I really wish I did. Because things would be a lot different. So again, when you put the block back on, here's the best way to do it. Put it this way so the block is actually in the farthest position forward. Farthest position forward, like once you have the springs on, attention-wise. Because it might just be a fraction of a millimeter that's going to help you here. So I always do that, put pressure on it, so it pushes that block where it's going to be for the rest of its life on the guitar. So there's another Floyd tip for you guys. Now I can finish putting the saddles on this. It might work better. And then as far as these are 6-inch. No, this one's a 9-inch. Nope, I'm sorry. Take that back. There's a 9-inch 3. There's a 6-inch 3. That's a 6-inch 2.5. People's like, well, how tight can I turn this to lock the strings in? So if you look, I don't know how well you can see it here, but if you look, there's obviously a straight edge on these. So you turn it tight enough to where you see that edge start to twist like that, and you know that's tight enough. That'll hold. All right, now I can put this where I know they go. Again, same way here. As soon as you see those lines start to twist, back off the pressure. Because you could end up, well, most cases, that'll end up stripped first. But there's sometimes you can break those off. And believe me, you do not want to do that. Because then you're going to learn what it's like to be a machinist, getting a busted screw out of a metal base. And I will tell you, if you don't have the proper tools for that, you are screwed. Where is this? Here we go. That's where I kind of lucked out because, my whole life, everything I did was welding, fabricating, painting. Then ended up being a tool and die maker. So that's how I ended up with a lot of the real good calipers and all the Starrett stuff because I had to buy it for the job. Yeah, this is the logos are worn off basically, but they're Bondus. I actually had the whole set at one time, or I still do, but you only need a 2, 2.5, 3, 4, and sometimes a 5. I have them clear up to 10. But that's how you judge it. As soon as you see that line start to twist, you're tight enough. Because you can only go so far, and something's got to give. And I can tell you this: on a Floyd special, with the original Floyd special saddles, you're gonna tighten this, and then all of a sudden you're gonna hear a little weird snap, and then you're gonna be able to pull it out, and the threads are gonna be on here, and there's nothing inside this. So even though the Floyd Ridge, God dang it, I can't talk today. The Floyd special bridge keeps getting knocked on. The plate is heat treated. The base plate on it is heat treated. If it wasn't, it wouldn't work at all, ever. But again, you can use the base. Just upgrade. You got to upgrade those because that's the first thing it fails. Is those because they're just made out of cast. And when you go adding stainless steel to them, the cast is going to give first. But again, my son-in-law's for over 4 years, I put real Floyd saddles on a special for him. And he's used it and used it and used it and beat the crap out of it to where I've had to change the bar because he's bent the bar. And it's still, all this time later, it's still holding for him. So that made him a believer because he was always one of the ones that's like, oh, that's special. The whole thing sucked. I said, no, the whole thing does not suck, just the saddles. And just a little dab. Come on. And you can buy, I've never tried them, but I've seen them on Amazon, stainless steel saddle set for a Floyd for like $60. Yeah, see, that's why I like the spring that centers it, because now I got to go back through and loosen these to get it back in the center. But yeah, they work, It said it's a stainless steel set, and it's like $60. And it's the saddles and the screws, the blocks. I have never personally used them, but I have a couple friends of mine that have, and they said they have never had an issue with them. So, something to think about. And even if it's, you know, a cheap stainless steel, it's still going to be better than that cast stuff that comes on it. Believe me, because that stuff is terrible. And that was the whole, well, let's do a cheaper version to get it out there with the hopes that you would like it, and you just end up buying the original one. I got to put all these. Come on. But I don't think they planned on other companies making the better parts for them. So, something to think about. If you guys, you'll hear, matter of fact, if you go over to Spotify, because they are on Spotify, and check out the band Bolt Action. B-O-L-T, bolt action, like a rifle. You will hear my son-in-law's guitar playing on computer stop. You'll hear it on there, and you'll hear the black and white Crackle Jackson Kelly I did for him. That's the guitar he's using. The pickups in it are DiMarzio Super Distortion in the bridge, and then the same exact thing, Super Distortion, in the neck. But he is the main guitar player and the lead player for the band Bolt Action. Actually, he started the band, matter of fact. My wife's, or my daughter's husband. And you'll hear every one of those recordings is done with a Floyd Rose Special with upgraded saddles. Again, turn it till it starts to twist, and then stop before you break something. To do this, make it quicker. And it does not take a lot of oil because you don't want the oil to get around to the front of the block where you'll never keep your string in there. So it's literally just, that's even too much. It's just a drop on the thread and a little bit right there where it goes into the block. Thread. And even though this is stainless and this won't corrode, these can. So I just want to prevent that from happening. Because I spent 45 minutes getting one block out on one of Cole's, his main guitar, matter of fact. That sucker was in there, and it was one of the original black blocks, because the one or two times before when he'd come down and I worked on him, I told him, I said, hey, I'm going to put stainless steel on this tremolo for you. And he's like, why? I said, well, because it's better and it'll last longer. But he's the type, if it's not broke, don't fix it. He wouldn't let me do it. So it was at least one change in between. Then when he came down for the next one, it was so corroded I literally couldn't get it out of there. It took me 45 minutes. Had I had another saddle, I just would have changed saddles on it and been done with it. But After that, then he's like, okay, well, all right, you can do the stainless upgrade then. So that's what it has. I need to put a push-in bar on this one. I used to like these and leave them loose to where they'd swing around. Now I don't care for that. I like the push-in bar because there's no give where, I mean, I don't know how well you'll see it, but there. On a push-in bar, it's solid every which way. 9:11. All right, so watch the time. I don't want to make Laz be late. But I do invite everybody to come over and watch the music therapy show tonight, the gear and demo show, because again, Rob from Tessie Switch would be there. It would be kind of cool if Rob would send some kill switches this way and couple the push-pull pots for the program. Because when I let them try my guitar with the kill switches, then they fall in love with it. And I never have any here to put on any of those guitars that get given away. So it would be nice to have a couple at least. I wish someone like Stu Mac would like sponsor the show with the tools I don't have already. I think that would be kind of neat. Because, you know, I'm be promoting their product. All right. Let's see. What would this look like? George Lynch would probably kill me. It'd have to be, this is like a Georgette Lynch. So there we go. Georgette Lynch. Real quick, since I got this off here, I'm just going to run. What is that? 7 or 8? I think it's 8,000. I just want to run that over there real quick. Why can't I get that? Oh, that's why. That's the one this is the one of the newer style that I got to work, and I put the stupid paper in backwards because it's opposite of the old one. Hold on. Oh, I just want to dust these off real quick. It's 7 or 8,000 on here. One of the two. I've had this guitar for years, and I freaking love it. You know, the neck, I'm telling you, the flat back of the neck is freaking amazing. I just had it, you know, I had it in my mind. I'd never played one like that before. But my engineering type mind, I was like, man, if that was flat. So when this was ordered, that's what it was ordered with. And it did come with a little resistance. Dang it, I got to turn that paper around. I can't get it. But, dang it, come on. I love this guitar. And unlike the Sandoval, I don't play that, but I do play this one. Because this one, just the basic, the whole thing here, it's like, it's a little, it doesn't hurt it to be played. Occasional mark here and there is not going to kill it. And then I always put just a little dab on the pole. Not on the thread, that's already in the thread. I'm talking about up here where the knife edge lays on it. That helps it. I put it right here. That helps it pivot, keeps it, and if any corrosion would ever start, it helps eliminate it. All right, now let me put the. Just helps it that much quicker drop back into position. Should have had this ready to go this way before I did that. And one of the best $20 things or $15 things you could buy, FU tone right there. This is so much easier and quicker. Hook it around there, pull it over, pop it off that quick. There you go. On this guitar, no. Let me, a little bit of weed and feed. Actually, feed and wax. I keep forgetting I turned the camera around now. So, hello. So yeah, come Monday, I'm going to order that sound machine. And then the night it gets here, or the day it gets here, that night show, it's getting smashed. There we go. Man, I need to get some more of my NYXL strings. Ooh. These ones are going to be, what's this one? This is going to be 9.5 to 44. The next one I got is 12 to 54. Yep, I need to get some. All right. What do we got here? Possibly. Somebody told me, I'm not going to give the name away, and I didn't go check, so, but somebody told me my image has been removed from thumbnails. Not that I was on that many of them anyhow, but so I figure, you know what, if I'm being erased, let's just make a clean break of all of it. Close that part of the book, end the book, last chapter, and start over. Yeah, I don't know, Billy, for sure. I'm not going to go look, but I was told that I was removed from thumbnails. That may or may not be true. I don't know. But I will say this. It wouldn't surprise me. So that's, getting rid of the busting the sound machine is just a theatrical ending as far as I'm concerned. And I figured it'd be good laugh and a good open content for the show. That's all. See, I remember my uncles and my grandfather when something, well, of course, they never had to worry about a show, but when they had people who they thought of as friends or even family, and then they would get, however, stabbed in the back or whatever you want to call it. I don't care. The old school Italian way was you wrote that person's name down on a piece of paper, then you crumbled that paper and did two things to it, depending on how bad they, you either crumbled it up and threw it away or crumbled it up, put it in an ashtray and lit it on fire. Either way, that person was no longer, as far as you are concerned, relevant. I still remember seeing them do that. And my Nona explained to me what it was all about, because I was like, what are they doing? But, I mean, they had dealings that involved money and everything. So this is my, this will be my attempt at starting a new chapter. Plus, when they did that, that person was gone to them, and their name was never, ever mentioned again. But I guess the difference between just throwing it away and burning it, uh, burning it meant a little bit more than just throwing it away, but basically the same thing. My Uncle Green Mancini was one that was always, man, respect and honor was the biggest thing in his life. And trust me, you did not want to cross that, man. Never. And that was his first name, Green. Green Mancini. At his funeral, his entourage was there, all in black suits. They all walked up to the casket that final time and kissed him on both cheeks, each one of them. They all handed my aunt an envelope with, she never opened it in front of me, but they were all handing her envelope of money. So when I say I came from a old school Italian family, that's exactly what it was. In pretty much every aspect of the word. So I'm related to the Mancinis, Cassianos, Silvetti, interesting childhood, a very good childhood. And that was my whole thing about being disrespected. So, after the closing of the book next week, with the smashing of the sound machine, you will never hear me mention that channel again. Well, Mad was there. Mad will tell you. I stuck out my hand and made some comments, and just to show there was no hard feelings. And Matt will tell you how that worked, to the point where he even got ignored. Trying to keep myself from sneezing. That bar twisted or pushed down. I actually need to. There we go. Get up there. There we go. I need to take these tuners off. Well, maybe not. I might just leave it like it is. Because it was original. And then over time, this has, sadly, this has fallen over against the wall a couple times. And there's a few marks on the headstock. I mean, I could take the tuners off, scuff it up, and re-clear it. Or leave it as it is. Yeah, Zach, Mad, yeah. Zach would tell you he had issues there too. But I did. I tried. Hey, no hard feelings, blah, blah, blah. And just, I never existed. Then Mad even brought it up, saying, hey, he's saying, blah, blah, blah. And then he got ignored. So it's difficult. But that's just how, different people, different ways. Again, I'm not mad. I'm not upset. I'm just feel disrespected. And after next week, I'll never talk about it again. I'm probably going to have to adjust the springs on this because now we're at 9.5 instead of a 9. Might be able to get away with it. We'll see. Never know. I took the tremorly off this. This did have a tremorly on this guitar, which was kind of cool. Wait a minute. If I'm not mistaken, it's hanging behind me right here. Hold on. Let me see. Well, it was hanging behind me. Where'd it go? Oh, yeah, it's still here. Hold on. Ah, that hurt my knee. That was stupid. So this is a tremory, not tremorly, tremory. And what this does, it's neat, except you can't, it takes away the flutter. So this is what it is. And it hooks. This would shove down. And this would hook around the claw. And then this other hook here goes in here, and this piece would go up here. And then you get it right where you want it to be, where it's dead center, perfect setup, tuning's perfect, and then you would tighten this little knob here. And what this does is when you have a Floyd Rose without this, everybody whoever's had a Floyd, especially when they're set up correctly, you do a bend, the other strings go out of tune. This eliminates that. You do the bend, the other strings stay in perfect tune. If you break a string, you all know you break a string on a Floyd, the whole thing goes out. With this, you can break a string and it doesn't knock the rest of it out. But, so it doesn't, it's not a spring, even though it acts like one. But what's wild is it does all that, but you can't do the flutters anymore. It eliminates the flutters. That's why I took it back off. But I've sat here on the show before with it and actually unlocked the nut and tuned to a D and never had to adjust anything. It was because of that. It worked fine. So if you're one that doesn't do the flutters, then it'd be perfect for you. And this is sold at who's the one that did the Harley Bentons? Thorman Music, something like that. Thorman. That's who sells those. I think they're like $99, or at least they were when I bought that one. So you know if you have your... Hey, I don't have to set it. Look, I got it and the block fell out on its own. Yeah, that's... I keep turning stuff upside down now. That's it. Here's the... Just one page? Yeah. It does work, but if you do flutters, you can't do them with that. That's the only thing I didn't like about it. But as far as, I mean, if you got it set and you're playing and you break a string, it all goes crap. That keeps that from happening. You can break the string and the rest of the strings stay in tune. So you can kind of like soldier on through the rest of the song. But even if you're playing and you unlock a locking nut, that'll throw it out of tune. Not with that. I wish they had that when I was playing in the band years ago. Yeah, I still may have to. Yep, that's up a little bit. I figured it would be. But yeah, it's a nice thing to have. If you're playing live, or heck, even in a studio, You, especially if you do a lot of bends. Like I said, they're about. I think. Well, I'd have to look for sure, but I think they're about 99. That's what that one was when I bought it. $99. I don't know if they still are because I've had that one for probably 4 years. I could see maybe they went up $20 on it. Still up too high. Yeah, I'll play this one. Anybody that comes to this house can play this one. Just because the nature of it, it's not, it wasn't perfect, made perfect anyhow. But Sandoval is a different story. I don't even play it. Crap, now I got it in too far. Yeah, Sandoval stays hanging for what that thing cost. Of course, this one wasn't cheap either, but it's cheaper than that one. But again, this neck on this thing is just so phenomenal. The last time I played this out, and you're gonna think I was nuts for doing this, because I have played a couple times for special occasions, and they had a biker Sunday at church. The place was full of like 3 separate gangs were there. No issues. Everybody was nice. They had giveaways and everything. And I played this for Born to Be Wild. So it did kind of feel kind of strange standing up in front of a church with this guitar. But I will say this, the bikers freaking loved it. Of course, you did have some people yell, "Play Dawkins." Just like when you walk out with a Van Halen guitar, they want to hear Eruption. You walk out with this, they want to hear. Usually it's not love. Since that was the first song that George debuted his guitar on. There we go. We are level, low action, and a flat neck. You can't ask for any better than that. And that is flat, I'm telling you. That is flat. All the way from up there clear down here. So you always got to play. Wow, can't do it without my pick. I do. I remember when that video world premiered, they were staying on the back of a flatbed semi, riding up and down Sunset Strip. And the first time I saw this guitar, I was like, holy crap, what is that? I got to have one. And that was before my wife, we were dating then. And then she went to the local music store and tried to order one for me for a, I don't know if it was a birthday or something. She tried to order one. She was going to surprise me with it, and then it was $10,000. So needless to say, she didn't get it for me. So I am happy to say I did not pay $10,000 for this one. I paid $5,000 for this. Then the Sandoval was $7,000. So not counting the Gibson Les Paul, these are the two most expensive guitars I have. All right, so this way. These here. Tremorly. I always put an L in it. Tremorly. There's no L in it. It's Tremory. Tremory. I've been putting the L in it since I got the thing. And I will say, it works wonders. It really does. But you just can't flutter with it. So this, as much as I hate to admit this, because it's got pink, I don't think it's that bad looking. Mainly because it's not a hot pink. It's more of a metallic. But I would never have a guitar that color pink. So it's kind of limited to what you could put that on. All right, everybody. So I would encourage everybody, if you want to, go to Music Therapy Lazarus show here in a few minutes. And again, I don't know what he's doing. I know Rob is supposed to be there. So let me put the headphones back on for a minute. Yeah, I know Rob's supposed to be there with us. And I hope that he is there. Let me put this back on the other camera. Okay. So we are dang it, I hate this with headphones on it. So yeah, it's just you know. Wow. Yeah. Hold on. It's been forever. Ooh, running out of time. Because I know my stuff doesn't work on this setup doesn't work on StreamYard very well. Hold on. Crap. Hold on. So I think I hate new strings and I love new strings. So I think that was a solo for Alone Again. So with that, everybody, I'm going to get off here and switch over to StreamYard. And because I got to use a regular mic for that. So thank you, everybody, for hanging out. 6 minutes, Lewis. It's supposed to be 10 o'clock. So there we go. Well, Derek, let me tell you about that. It took me 30 years to finally get one. So, all right. I will see you guys. Hey, Ryan. See you guys in a few minutes on the other show. Be good, everybody. As Dio says, you're all the biggest stars in the world. And as Ozzy would say, I love you all. Sharon!